Hello there. Welcome to my COVID-19 update by Heerak Show. It's May 11, 2020, and it's Monday. And this week is the graduation week at Georgetown University. And as you know, I'm class of 2020. Georgetown University commencement is this week, Saturday. I'm very excited. My cohort members, clinical nurse leader, 2020 cohort members are very excited. Hi, everyone. Aren't you excited? Yeah, all of us are very excited. There are 25 of us graduating this year in the clinical nurse leader program. That's a master's program in the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Do you like my fleece? School of Nursing and Health Studies fleece. Yeah, I got it this year, and I really like it. so yeah, I'm very loyal to School of Nursing and Health Studies at Georgetown University, and that's one of the reasons why I'm applying to Georgetown University MedStar Hospital to work as an intensive care unit ICU nurse treating COVID-19 patients. They're expecting COVID-19 to spike up in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia and start killing a lot of people. I guess they're predicting peak around June or July, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably start working in August if they hire me. So I'm looking at Georgetown University MedStar and my neighborhood, Arlington, Arlington's own Virginia Hospital Center to treat COVID-19 patients. Let's see, I want to help everybody, and save everybody. That's why I created this show, right? To save you and your family from COVID-19. Experts say this is going to continue for over 2 years. And I saw I guess, special by PBS by Googling it in YouTube for Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. And it was kind of interesting. They said that it was during World War I. So America was fighting World War I while Spanish flu pandemic was happening. And it started at an army base in Kansas. And Spanish flu targeted mostly young, strong people in 20s, so 20 to 30 mostly, but obviously killed other people as well. So people at that time were puzzled because generally flu kills the very young and the very old, but Spanish flu of 1918 was targeting and killing mostly people in their 20s. I learned a lot from that. So, Google Spanish flu 1918 PBS, and then you could see the program, it's like a 15-minute program. And a lot of things happened at that time that's happening now. Like there were people killing other people who were telling them to put a mask on. And that happened just, like last week. So it seems like deja vu, history is repeating itself. You learn a lot from history. There's nothing new in history, right? Book of Proverbs says, that everything, happens again. And its whole theme is about how history repeats itself, yeah. So anyway, yeah, have a look at Book of Proverbs as well if you have a chance. We have an exciting show for today. Today's show is about, some of you name that tune. Can you guess again? You know what this is from? It's a theme song. Yes, it's the theme song from Love Boat. And some of you have seen it, some of you have seen reruns, and they said this show single-handedly raised cruise ships and their customer clientele. A lot of people start going on a cruise after watching this show. And basically, the show is about cruise ship, right? And you know how love happens in a cruise ship? So today's episode is about love. I'm going to share with you my experience in Poland, what I'm calling a bachelor in Poland. So you'll meet a lot of people that I actually dated. So I think you'll really like. I think you'll really like this show. You know, stay tuned and yeah. It's gonna be a good show. Yes, I wonder like which bachelorette you will like. You know, because I'm the bachelor, and then you have all these bachelorettes. So you'll meet the ladies in Poland that I have dated in Bachelor in Poland, and I'm the bachelor. You know, as you know, I'm not married yet. I'm hoping that God will send me somebody. But so I had my own bachelor in Poland, you know, for like a couple of weeks in year 2019. So it's very recent. Yeah, so you'll meet the ladies, and I'll share stories of the dates, and then you can judge which bachelorette is the best for me from Poland. You know, if that's the direction I go. You know, but let's see. You know, I'm open to God's call. You know, one great thing is Poland is a very Christian country. It's like countries like basically 99.9% Catholic. So you know they're Christians, and you know, I'm Christian. I want to marry a Christian. So you know, but anyway, yeah. So let's see which bachelorette you like, and then you can email me and let me know. And I probably will be influenced by your votes. But let's see. So we have an exciting show today. As you know, I'm graduating. Yay! Happy graduation! Congratulations to all my cohort of 2020 CNL students, clinical nurse students, clinical nurse leader students. So yeah, so we're kind of in a celebration mode. So I figure, you know, we're friends now. You know me, I know you know, I know you through this program. And so I figure I could share things with you. You're like family now. So I'm going to share my experience in Poland in year 2019, in August 2019. So it was less than a year ago, where I had my bachelor in Poland episode. Well, this is the bachelor in Poland episode, but you get to meet all the bachelorettes. And so here's one now, Annette. Annette, yeah, I guess you call it Aneta, or Annette. It's spelled the same way. And she's Polish. I think she's like 21 or something like that, or maybe 20. But she's Polish. So she's one of the bachelorettes that I met. I met her in Gdansk. Gdansk is like kind of a southern city in Poland where, you know, they have like, you know, a lot of ships that go to like Scandinavia from Poland. So it's like a port city. Yeah, so you know, well, I guess I could tell you a little bit about on that. You know, I was walking, you know, in Poland, and I saw her. She's like, wow, she's really pretty. And so I started talking with her, and yeah, so she so yeah, so anyway, you know, you'll meet her again later on, like a different uh, so you have an exciting show. So don't tune out. You know, before Bachelor in Poland. Yay! Congratulations to everyone who's graduating. Yeah. So anyway, this is a festive show. Okay, yeah, this is a festive week, so it's a festive show. Yeah. So let's go first to the figures. Thankfully, you know, this is a festive show, and I guess God loves me. God, God's lowered the death rate, so I could be more in a festive mood. Uh, so um, Yeah, so 856 people died, so it's under 1,000. So yay, so it's a good thing. I'm happy about that. Yesterday, the total number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States was 79,522. 24 hours later, we have 856 extra people died. I mean, which is still a lot. I mean, and no one should die, but I mean, it's much lower than like 3,000 or 4,000 that we had before, just like couple weeks ago. So, it's encouraging. And the total COVID-19 death now stands at 80,378. That's the total number. So it's still a lot. Yeah. The United States, America has still, fairly stable rate of growth, 20 to 30,000 every day in terms of confirmed cases. And so yesterday we had 1,329,072 cases, and 24 hours later we have 1,347,151 cases. So yeah, so let's go to Europe because Bachelor in Poland is in Europe. So congratulations to everybody who's graduating. This is such an exciting week. Anyway, so yeah, because this is an exciting week, I'm sharing this with you. So yeah, so let's do the top five COVID-19 cases in Europe first. Before we go to that, you're probably wondering what photos are these, and so. I mean, it's all part of a Bachelor in Poland. So the photos are from Poland. So that's a building in the old city in Warsaw. And I've shared with you the reason that I was in Warsaw was because I had research that I was invited to present on Jewish studies at the European Association for Biblical Studies, EABS. I've been a member for a long time, and I generally try to present like once a year, if time permitting. So they invited me to present on a Jewish studies issue. So, I went to Warsaw. It was at the University of Warsaw, which is like the Harvard of Poland. It's an annual conference. It's a once-a-year conference. It's a good time to go and see your friends. It's like everybody knows everybody. And then we talk about, oh yeah, how's your wife? How's your children? Oh, your children got married. So it's like a family. It's like a big family. We meet it's like a reunion, family reunion once a year. But we present academic stuff and we debate and ask questions from each other. So it's a very good time professionally. Oh, we're like friends, and I shared with you a photo of a new friend of mine who's a chair of animals in the Bible session, right? That I shared with you. And so if you go to I think it's in first week episodes, you will see a photo of professor in Edinburgh who looks like a college student. I talked to you about that, and so yeah, she, yeah, because you could see her photo there. And she's like an amazing scholar. She's a professor at the University of Edinburgh. She did her bachelor's, master's, and PhD at University of Cambridge in England. And she was at Peterhouse, which is one of the colleges in Cambridge. And they have really good Mayball as well. I'll talk to you about Mayball at Cambridge University. Each college in Cambridge has it. And I shared with you my prom photos from Mayball at Jesus. I invited Rachel Saunders to go with me. She's from Belfast, Northern Ireland. So check out that episode as well. I think you'll enjoy that show. It's, like a while ago. But yeah, just watch every single show. They're all like interesting and you learn something new about COVID. So the photos there, the three photos there all the four photos are actually from the old town of Warsaw. And so there are 2 date photos and then there's a 1 night photo. And then I met like 4 tourists. They're actually tourists. They're from Belgium. And get this, you'll be interested to know. These 4 ladies are military officers in Belgium's military. Yes. We have West Point Air Force Academy. Naval Academy, Coast Guard Academy, and Belgium has them too. So these 4 ladies are officers who are currently starting out in their commission as officers. They just graduated from the military academy. So let's see if I can remember this correctly. The lady to my right, who's standing there in a white shirt and polka dot like pants, is in the Naval Academy in Belgium, and the woman next to that on like a tank top, white tank top with like a flowery pattern shirts, she's in the Air Force Academy. She graduated. They all graduated in 2019, and so this was like their kind of celebration, graduation trip. You know how I talk? We had a graduation trip show, so you should see that one as well. But anyway, so she's from the Air Force Academy, and I think the one to my left in like red tank top with like sky blue shorts, she's in the Army, and the woman next to that in like a flowery dress, she's in, I think she's also in the Air Force. So there are 4 officers who just graduated from their military academies, and they just started their commission in the Belgian military forces. And I like women in uniform, so they're not in uniform there, but I guess they left their uniform in Belgium because they came here to just unwind and just have fun. So I had fun with them. I'm in shorts as well, right? I'm in shorts, and that night we watched this fire show together. And there were people, like putting the fire on their mouth and, blowing fire, like they put gasoline into their mouth and blew the fire. Don't do this at home, please. Please don't do this at home, because I don't want you to get, like burned or, sick or die, from fire. But, they had this show, street show. It was like a street show. So we, we saw that. It was fun kind of hanging out, at night in Belgium, not Belgium, but they're from Belgium, but in Poland. So yeah, so you're probably curious, like what are all these photos are. So there's, I'm kind of like a tourist, right? I'm there for a conference, but I've never been to Poland, so I try to take in as much tourism as possible. So so that was fun. Yeah, it was very, very fun night. Yeah, and so the ranking, the 5 ranking, top ranking, I ranked them today according to cases. So the most cases are ranked number 1, and Spain still has the most number of cases, but they're not the most number of deaths. They have 26,744 deaths, and so obviously they're not number 1. United Kingdom has far more deaths than Spain, but their cases are lower than Spain's cases. So United Kingdom actually has about 5,000 or more deaths than Spain, although their case is lower than Spain. So United Kingdom is number 2 for cases, but number 1 for deaths from COVID in Europe, and their total death is at 32,141. Russia is number 3 in Europe for cases. Obviously, Russia is an Eastern bloc, but it is Eastern Europe, right? I mean, so it's technically Europe. So Russia has 221,344 cases, but look at this, they only have 2,009 deaths. So this is what I mean when I say NATO countries are having all the deaths. I mean, Russia, it doesn't have, I look at the number of deaths in Russia compared to all the other nations that are, other European nations which are NATO countries. This is my point. I've been saying COVID-19 is targeting the United States and our NATO allies, and that kind of shows you the proof, right? I mean, numbers don't lie. Yeah, and well, let's go on to number 4, Italy. Italy has 219,814 cases. It used to be number 1, but you know, it's like number 2 now, with 30,739 deaths. I mean, still has people dying, but not as a higher rate because they quarantined the area off, and that's why I'm saying quarantine New York off, right? Because that's the sure way to kind of block deaths. I'm a little bit worried because we have now, I think Amtrak is starting their fast train service from New York to Washington, D.C. So I think the death rate in D.C. is going to go significantly up higher, not just D.C., but Philadelphia, you know, all the stops from New York to here. Yeah, so as people travel more people are going to die. I mean, the PBS show that I saw, you know, Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, they, you know, the narrator made a good comment. They said, if one person get it, you know, 1,000 people could get it. I think it's a respiratory disease. So if somebody coughs, you know, people around them can get it. So I was like, whoa. So I guess that's kind of COVID as well. You know, COVID is a little bit more than just a respiratory thing, but you know, if somebody coughs on you, you could get it. So yeah, so I mean, there are a lot of similarities in terms of transmission, and you know, they tried to force people to wear masks too, I guess, in the 1918 pandemic. And you know, yeah, so there are a lot of similarities. It's like interesting how history repeats itself. But I think more people were killed so far with COVID than at the same time period with Spanish flu in the United States. So yeah, so you know, Google Spanish flu pandemic 1918 and see the PBS special and just kind of, you know, learn about it and see how it's similar or different from what we're experiencing now. It's only like 15 minutes, so yeah. Now, number 5 is France, and they have 177,547 cases, so it's significantly lower than Spain, but their death rate is similar to Spain, 26,646 deaths. So let's go on to our next program. Yes, this is what you've been waiting for. Yeah, it's in the spirit of vacation. We have Bachelor in Poland 2019. So this was in August. So it was like what, 8 months ago? So that's me 8 months ago. Yeah, so I shared with you, like, you know, at Georgetown, clinical nurse leader program. I'm the master's program in the School of Nursing and Health Study with concentration in clinical nurse leader. So all of us will be experts in clinical nurse leader when we graduate in May. I mean, in 2020. I mean, the graduation ceremony is in May. It's this Saturday, but we actually have some practicum until August, as I shared with you. And so, yeah, so last year, after the summer term was over, I like the day that the term was over, I flew out to Poland. You know, but I flew out to Poland the day the summer term was over because well, I had to deliver my paper. So the summer term was over like on Friday or Saturday, and my paper, the conference started on like Monday. And so I flew out like on Saturday, so or Friday night. So yeah, and that summer I was doing my clinical, like nursing clinicals at Children's National Hospital for pediatric nursing, and Dominion Hospital in Arlington, or is it in Falls Church? Like right by the border, for mental health, you know, psychological nursing. So dealing with homicide, suicide, you know, mental illness of all kinds. And it was a very interesting summer, very intense, very hard work, but it was definitely worth it. I learned a lot, worked with a lot of patients, you know, in both settings, you know, mental health setting in Dominion Hospital and pediatric nurse setting in Children's Hospital. So it was a lot of fun, you know. I mean, it was, you know, a learning experience, and I enjoy helping others, and I enjoy learning the expertise to help others as an expert. So, I enjoyed everything that I did. Nursing is fun for me, so I enjoy it. And I love helping people, so it works out. Um, yeah, so I went to Poland right after, and uh, and uh, I was basically in Poland for like what, a week and a half. I think like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. It depends if you want to include the flight time or not. It takes like a day and a half to fly over there. Um, Because you fly through several cities, right? So yeah. So let's get to our bachelorettes. Let's see which bachelorette you like. I could see Harry's eyes are like, his pupils are dilated. Can you see his pupils are like dilated, like seriously dilated? But yeah. Are you okay, Harry? But anyway, yeah. So let's start with this. See. So on the left side, um, so I mean, I think at the average rate, I was counting like average rate. I think I was like dating at the average rate of like around 2 women per day. So it's really like Bachelor in Paris. You know the show? I don't know if you ever seen Bachelor, show. It's like a Bachelor in Hawaii or Bachelor in Florida. They have these. One guy dates like 20 girls or something. I think I've dated more, but during the two-week period. But yeah, so it's like Bachelor. Like it's not like it's like a first date kind of thing, and then you choose the person you want to kind of date a little bit more. It's how the Bachelor show is like. You give a flower, and then I mean I didn't do that, and the women did not know each other. So it's not exactly like The Bachelor in Poland. Well, those four women, um, the Belgian military people, they knew each other because obviously they flew over from Belgium here. But like others, they did not know each other. Warsaw is kind of small, so they may know each other. Because when I was in Heidelberg, Germany, I should, and I share with you, my maybe my photos from Heidelberg. You gotta remind me. Yeah, but I researched with the world famous expert of New Testament, and his name is Heerak Christian, and he's like world famous professor of New Testament, and he created the theory of Jesus as a charismatic leader, and he teaches at University of Heidelberg, University at Heidelberg, uh, and he's been there for decades. And so, I went over to Germany to research with him, and he put me up in his home for like a week or two. And his wife cooks really well. She's like a psychologist, like renowned psychologist, and we had like really interesting conversations. So, I went to Germany to research with him because I want to learn from the best minds in the world. I wanted to get everything he knows and kind of, like if you see movies, how people like if you see like Charmed or Good Witch, or there are creatures that go and try to suck the power out of everybody, and then they become stronger. Uh, it's kind of like that, As an academic, I want to be the best, most powerful academic in the world, intellectual in the world. So I go to the greatest minds in the world, and I learn everything I can from them until there's nothing more to learn from them. And I do that with like every expert. So when I was at Hebrew University of Jerusalem for 3 years with like different funding, Goldsmith Foundation funding, Raoul Wallenberg Scholar funding, Lady Davis funding, funding from Israel, State of Israel, funding from Friends of Hebrew University of Jerusalem. I tried to sap the knowledge out of everybody. And in the previous episode, I talked about Professor Danny Schwartz from Baltimore, Hebrew University of Baltimore. He's the department chairman of a Department of Jewish Studies, which is like, that's the Department of Jewish Studies in the world, he's a chairman. So I researched with him on Jewish identity, particularly focusing on the Maccabees, the period of Hanukkah and the Maccabean revolt. And so that was like our focus. So I sat in on a doctoral seminar that was conducted in modern Hebrew. So like his PhD students in Israel were like the brightest PhD students in Jewish history in Israel. They're taking this doctoral seminar with him. And I went and sat in, and obviously everything is done in Hebrew, and his students are all Israelis, right? And I learned Hebrew, and my Hebrew was good enough at the time to understand everything. So I was discussing it in Hebrew, my official status was visiting research fellow, so my status was fairly high, respected position. It's like almost like a kind of faculty position almost, because you're visiting research fellow. So you're like part of the research team, although I was like a PhD student in history at UCLA at the time, but my status at Hebrew University was fairly high because I was able to manage this to win this award and the status. I applied and I won. Not everybody gets it, obviously. It's very competitive. But I'm very good. I was like the best, you could ask Michael Luvano, professor at St. Norbert College. I was like one of the best, if not the best. Sorry, Michael, at UCLA. So my year, like 100 PhD students came in because they're like 100 professors. They take on like one student per year. I was like creme de la creme. I'm like top of the 100 who came in. Yeah. So yeah, I could ask Mike Lovano about it. People like like me, but they also like respecting me. Michael Lovano is like one of the top two. He's like, and that's why we became like best buddies in the history department, because like the best minds kind of like gravitate toward each other. But anyway, yeah. So it's yeah. I mean, I just love my time in Poland, I guess we should get right to the Poland and the bachelorettes who are there. So the first Polish girl that I met was the day that I registered for the conference. Like I registered for the conference as soon as I landed in Poland, and they had early registration. So I took a shower and then like took a little nap, and then I don't know, it was like 30-minute nap, and then I went directly out, and then I met her right after I registered. So I had that, a conference registration thing on my neck, right? Yeah, so she's bachelorette number one. And I met her at cafe, I was like, man, I'm so tired. I'm like so jet lagged. I didn't really get much sleep because I was watching catching up on all the new movies on the flight over from Washington, D.C. to Europe, and then to Poland, which is also Europe. I took like 2 planes to get there, or was it 2 or 3 planes to get there? So I was watching movie all night long. I wasn't sleeping. And I hadn't gotten much sleep because I was studying for final exams, because I just got finished with summer semester. Yeah, so I was like sleep deprived, and I watched like a lot of movies, and my eyes were probably like bulging like Harry's, because I had lack of sleep, and I watched like 4 or 5 movies, or maybe more. Like trying to catch up on the movies, because during summertime it was so intense. I didn't really get to go see any movies in the movie theater. So I was just catching up on those movies over the plane. I think that paid for the plane ticket. So yeah. But anyway, so I went to get coffee because I don't want to fall asleep, at the introductory meeting or orientation or opening ceremony or whatever they call it. So I went to get coffee, and then I was like, oh, this woman's kind of cute. I'm on my vacation, right? And I'm single. I have to find a way to get married. I mean, maybe I should, ask her out. So I started talking with her, and I sat there drinking my coffee, and then I saw her, drinking coffee by herself, and I was like, hey, can I come over and drink coffee with you? you're alone, I'm alone, And she's like, yeah. So I walked over, and we sat together and started drinking coffee together. We just like kind of hit it off right away. So yeah, so we kind of got close. After talking for a while, I was going to originally just grab coffee, go back to the conference. It was just around the corner. It was at the old library of University of Warsaw. So they have new library, but old library is where they do a lot of dignitary kind of functions now. They don't really use it as a library anymore because they created a big new library. But this is the old library they used to use like during World War II times, but they don't really use it anymore. And so I was gonna go back and just like meet, catch up with my friends and stuff. But I'm like, well, she's prettier, yeah. So I started talking with her. It was more fun to talk with her, An opening ceremony, wasn't gonna start for a while. So I'm like, yeah, I could talk to the conference people later. I mean, the conference is for like 4 days. So I talked with her, and then, and so she gave me her number, and I called her and I asked her out. It's like I'm single, she's single. So I found out she's working for Polish government in the statistics office. So she does like statistic kind of population statistics type of thing. I mean, I guess we probably have two in America. And so she was telling me she's like bored to death with that job. And I'm like, why don't you find something more fun? Life is too short to do things that you don't like doing, right? I mean, I'm graduating from School of Nursing and Health Studies with a master's with a focus on clinical nurse leader. So I'm doing what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to save lives. And life is too short not to do what you want to do. And I'm good at it. I'm good in what I do as a clinical nurse leader. In the making, because I'll be certified in the summer as a clinical nurse leader. But so I was telling her, you gotta do what you want to do. I mean, geez, I want to continue being an expert in Jewish studies. So I put in the time to do research and submit my paper for conferences and for publication because I enjoy doing that. Yeah, and so yeah, you gotta love life, and did I tell you? Yeah, I told you my French Jewish friends call me bon vivant, the one who loves life. So I said, you have to do something that you love to do. So I talked to her about that, and she liked me, I guess from the start as well. So I asked her out, and we went for sushi in Poland, and so that's the dinner. It was like at is it Hard Rock Center or something? It's like it's like a happening place in Warsaw. So we had sushi there. A lot of fun. We had sushi and after that we went dancing together. And get this, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. My colleagues would probably like, I was supposed to present. My presentation is like at 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. the next day. And I'm having dinner with her the day before my presentation. And, I mean, I was enjoying talking to her, and, I was enjoying, her company, and she's enjoying my company. And it seemed like it's kind of awkward to just end it right away, like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, just like a couple hours of dinner and then leave, and I mean, so in a sense, like, I have my very important presentation to present to a bunch of, top scholars in Europe who teach Jewish studies at places like, University of Paris, Oxford University, University of Zurich in Switzerland, all these scholars, top scholars around the world in Jewish studies, right? In Europe. And they could like tear my research to pieces, and so I should have like, yeah, but I mean, you live once, and I'm in Poland once, and I met this wonderful woman, and I wasn't gonna like not go out on a date with her because I have a paper to present the following day, right? So I went on a date, and I kind of should have gone home, I guess, from some would say, but I'm like, life is too short. I mean, I'm going to be presenting paper. I was going to present this year at University of Wuppertal in Germany. That's where the conference, European Association for Biblical Study conference is. I was going to present animals, and Susanna Miller, Professor Susanna Miller, Edinburgh University. I shared with her. You saw the photo, the earlier episode at her session. And then COVID-19 hit, so I don't get to see Susanna Miller again. And she's like really pretty, and she's really smart. I really like her. She's like, I think she's like 25 or something like that, 25 years old. Or yeah, with her PhD from Cambridge, bachelor's, master's, and PhD from Cambridge, professor at Edinburgh. She's amazingly smart, amazingly beautiful. I told you, right? She looks like a college sophomore. She's, and she's really kind-hearted. She's, very pretty. Yeah, and so yeah, so see her photo from early episode. I shared with you. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna go to like different conferences. But I'm not married, and I want to find a good Christian woman to marry. So in a sense, I have to date to see if I could, see if it will go somewhere. I wanted to kind of pursue this and see, and so I asked her, you wanna go dancing after dinner? And she's like, well, I don't know, I have work tomorrow. I have to get up like at, she's at 6 a.m. because it's a work day. I think I took her out like the day after I met her, so it was like yeah, it was like during work day. So she was going to go in at work, and she said she had her Polish federal government auditors coming that day to examine the books or something. So she was a little nervous about it, and I said, well, going dancing will relax you. You'll be better off tomorrow. You know how guys are. I wanted her to go dancing with me, so I mean, I should, So I mean, I guess it does help. It does help that you get exercise, kind of relax and exercise, and then you could be, more prepared. And she's pretty intense. I'm sure she was prepared anyway. Yeah, she was probably over prepared. So I think I was doing her a service. So I said, yeah, you do have to wake up at 6 a.m. But I mean, I promised to get you, get you, get you home by midnight or so. So you get like, um, 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I mean, that's like enough, right? You know, I mean, like dancing and kind of relaxing. I mean, it's like half asleep. It's almost like having sleep but not having sleep. So so she said, okay. So we walked. Um, you know, um, so we walked from the restaurant to like a place with a lot of like clubs, which is not too far away but not too close, which was kind of nice because I held her hand and put my arm around her. It's a date, and we walked over there, and then we, and she is, she seems so serious, and so the way she's dressed is fairly conservative way she dresses. So but I was surprised she dances like oh my gosh. I mean, when she dances, it's like, whoa. But she doesn't dance like the way she dresses. She's she's very good at dancing. And so we danced for like hours. And I meant to get her home a little bit earlier, but she had some sleep, I'm sure. But yeah, so we had really fun time, and she said she really had fun time. So that was really good. So she's bachelor number one, um, and bachelorette number two. I should have arranged this photo like in order of bachelorette number one and number two. Bachelorette number 2 is Olivia at the center. Do you see the photo at the center with me in my blue shirt with Tiger? You know, I taught at Wyatt Middle School in Greensville County Public Schools in Emporia, where the Virginia State Penitentiary is. So I taught sixth graders social studies. Oh man, the kind of things I did for them. Oh, they love me. I have project-based learning. I use the latest pedagogical methodologies to help my students improve. I used project-based learning and got everybody actively engaged in learning process. My students wrote an average of, I taught honors class. Non-honors class wrote an average of, these are sixth graders, average of 1 to 3 pages per day per class in social studies. Honors class students wrote an average of 5 to 10 pages a day in social studies class. And the classes were about 1 hour, 30-minute blocks. So their writing just significantly improved because they learn from me. Because, you know, I'm a literacy expert. So I value integrating reading, writing, thinking, and I use the latest pedagogical methodologies, and I fit it into the methodologies that will work the best for the group of students I'm teaching. So we call that an education expertise, differentiated instruction, and I'm very good at differentiating instruction. So yeah, I'm a kingmaker. Whoever I teach, they're like, they become geniuses. You know, I'm so good at teaching. It's amazing. I mean, when I was teaching at UCLA, all my students, they were elevated like, you know, several years within like a few weeks, you know, as my UCLA Bruin undergraduate students whom I taught. I mean, they came to me personally and said, Professor Kim, your class was a life-changing experience for me. You know, I'm like, I don't know, I get a little uncomfortable when I get all these praises, but you know, all these students are like, my life has been changed by your instruction, and like, I see the world in a different way because I took your class. You know, I'm like, you know, but I hear this all the time, so it's nothing new to me. So yeah, because I'm such an amazing professor. So yeah, but anyway, so at Wyatt Middle School, when I taught sixth graders, I just, you know, I upgraded their thinking skills, writing skills, reading skills, and I made sure they engaged in verbal expression. I had them like present, I had them create a skit and perform it in front of their classmates. they enjoyed it, but it, you know, it involved a lot of work. But you know, it was a collaborative learning process. I wanted them to take charge of their own education process and work together with me to improve their thinking and learning. And so yeah, so we call that collaborative teamwork, collaborative learning experience. So I use the latest, you know, methodologies to teach my kids. I always do. Yeah. So, you know, what's the purpose of research if you're not going to use it, right? So anyway, so that's my shirt there, white middle school shirt, you know, the tiger, wild tiger. Anyway, so Olivia is the bachelorette number 2. I didn't meet her for the first time there. We're on a date. I should have wore something a little bit more formal, but I generally dressed up for my conferences. So I was like, outside of conference, I didn't want to really dress up. She kind of dressed up, you know, so I felt bad. I'm like, I should have probably wore a tie or something. You know, because Europeans are very conservative and formal. When they go on dates, they wear ties and stuff like that. You know, I'm more American, so I'm more relaxed. But in Korea, they're really formal too. They wear like a 3-piece suit. But you know, I grew up in Philly. I'm a Philly boy, so I couldn't act like a Philly boy, right? So I'm on a date. So I'm like, that's acceptable for a date. I mean, you know, right? Wouldn't you agree? So anyway, so I'll tell you where I met her. On the first day, or it was the second day. It might have been first or second. I don't remember exactly which day. I was walking around. It might have been second day. I was walking around trying to get tickets for Gdansk, because after the conference in Warsaw, I went to go to Gdansk because I heard that was like a tourist spot. there's like music festivals and stuff like that. So I said, I want to go to Gdansk. So how do I get there? I need to like either take a bus or a train. Um, there, I didn't want to fly there because I wanted to see the scenery. As I, like if you go on a bus or a train, you get to see the scenery, right? Um, so I was trying to find the bus station. Could figure, so I was looking for a bus station, and I was walking, and I saw Olivia, and she was pretty, really pretty. Like she turned around, and she looked really pretty. So I said, "Oh gosh, I should talk to her, just get to know her, because um, you never know." And so I kind of walked up to her and said, I said, I'm looking for a bus station, which is true. I am looking for a bus station, right? I don't know where it is. I can't find it. So I asked her, can you help me? And she said, well, there used to be a bus station that was like centralized by Polish government, but bus stations became privatized and now it's in shambles. It's like completely, you know, like there are so many companies, private companies operating. It's confusing. So she said she'll try to help me. So 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 she she walked with me. We started chatting, and she said she was meeting her friends for a movie. It was like Sunday or something. Um, yeah, so maybe it was the first day. But anyway, so um, or was it the second day? Yeah, I think I landed on Saturday. No, I landed. Yeah. Anyway, so maybe it was Saturday. No. Yeah. See, I mean, yeah, I forget the non-essentials. I just remember the important things. And anyway, so Olivia was going to a movie theater. Like she was meeting a female friend for a movie, and so we talked, and she's like, she owned like she works in a shop, like a Greek shop, ethnic Greek shop, uh, you know, uh, and so um, and so she works normally from Monday through like Saturday. Um, Although her work schedule is like flexible, I guess she's like a manager or something. So she needed to meet her friend, and we ended up not being able to locate the bus station. So I ended up taking the train down. But at that time, she tried to help me, so I said thank you, and I said, I'd like to see you again. Can I have your number? Or she gave me her phone number. So um, yeah, so I called her, and then we arranged to meet for lunch, because she like it was summer, so um, hours are kind of irregular. So if I wanted to see her as soon as possible, and she said the first available, because I'm there only for like, I'm in Warsaw only for like 4 or 5 days, so I can't like wait for a time when she has like an evening free, because I will be in Gdansk, and I wanted to meet her, so she told me like the first available time she has is like like lunchtime, and so I said, yeah, let's do the first available time, because I prefer dinner, but like she works in a Greek um, store, and that's open, later, because people finish working and then they go and buy stuff. So it opens later and then it closes later. Uh, so uh, so I said, yeah, so let's meet for lunch. So we met for lunch, and you see on the photo there, I'm having lunch with her, like a small little photo on the bottom there. I'm sitting there, then she's sitting like on the other side of the table. So we're having lunch, like it was a traditional Polish restaurant, really good food. And she was a little bit late because we were having a lot of fun, and so she went back a little bit late to work. But so she called in and stuff like that. But yes, so Olivia is really pretty, and I'm still like kind of corresponding with her. I mean, I'm corresponding with all of them actually. But it's, I mean, right now, um, I mean that was like 2 weeks. It was like Bachelor in Paris show, like first 2 weeks. I mean, Bachelor show goes for like, I don't know how many weeks. Is that like 10 weeks? So I've been only there for 2 weeks, and I was going to go back during Christmas time and then meet up with everyone and then start kind of narrowing down to who, it's like Bachelor. You can't marry everybody. You marry one person, so you have to like start narrowing things down. It's not easy. It's really hard. It's like, I don't know if you've seen Bachelor shows, but the guy is like tormented because he doesn't want to like drop anyone. But and that's how I kind of felt. But so I was gonna go back during Christmas time, and I had my ticket and everything ready. But as you know, I declared to be a candidate for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District in November. I wasn't planning to run, but I shared with you, I decided to run as a U.S. Congressman after taking Professor Lorraine Spencer's class. She's a public health nursing expert she worked for many years for Arlington County Public Health. And she also worked as a school nurse at Arlington Public Schools. And so she was my public health nursing professor in the fall, and she was my clinical nursing professor in the spring semester. And I worked at Arlington County Public Health, Arlington County Public Schools, school nursing. So those two areas. And when I took her lecture class, I was so inspired by her public health lectures that I decided to run for office, because she explained how making lives better for everybody can really drastically improve everybody's health. So policy changes are very important, and that idea was kind of reiterated by Professor Lauren Inouye, who taught a health system policy class in the spring semester as well. So like I knew I was going the right direction. So obviously, I work as an ICU nurse until I get sworn in January. And I'll campaign while I'm working, I believe in the value of work. I want to save lives. Helping COVID-19 patients is a good thing. So I like to do that while I campaign. And so vote for me on November 3rd, 2020 in the elections, general elections against Don Beyer, who's a current U.S. Congressman. I believe that I can do a better job. Even though Don Beyer's a nice guy, I think I can do much better job than Don Beyer. So you should vote for me. Yeah. So anyway, so Professor Lauren Spencer inspired me, and also Professor Aaron Mon, who taught the class in the fall. So I declared to be a candidate for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District in November, like late November. So I already had a ticket to fly over there for like a couple of weeks during Christmas vacation. Like I was going to spend Christmas with my mom and dad, and then fly over and then see all of my bachelorettes again to see which one I would maybe potentially narrow down to. And so I had that ready, but I declared to be a candidate for U.S. Congress, and like I went to the Christmas party at Washington, D.C., Young Republicans Christmas party, which was great. I went to Arlington and Falls Church, Young Republicans Christmas party. I was kind of doing the campaigning thing, in November and December, and I realized I can't really just fly out to Poland for 2 weeks and drop my campaign, because I really need to campaign. So I had my ticket, I had my hotel reservations, but I didn't go. So my hotel reservations I lost money on that. So an airline ticket, I got them cheap. I bought the airline ticket in August. As soon as I came back from Poland, I wanted to go back for Christmas because I wanted to see everybody again. So I bought my ticket to Poland for $250 round trip from Washington, D.C. It was like $250 or $300. So I bought it, but it was non-refundable. So the tickets were lost. But I was planning to go. Obviously, I wanted to see all of them again. But, anyway. Yeah, so going back to Olivia. So I called her, and then, she came out and for lunch, and she gave me like a really big hug. I was like, I think she really likes me. So she like gave me a really hug, and I, you know, I think she's more expressive than I am. You know, so yeah, and then obviously I gave a really a strong hug back. She was really excited to see me. I was like a little taken back, you know, but I like her, you know. And so, you know, we chatted, and I found out like her older brother is a Catholic priest. He's like fairly high up there in the Catholic hierarchy in Poland. And she comes from a very devout Catholic family in Poland, which I like. I like with Christians, you know, and people who are devout to their, you know, Christian faith. So, so that was a definitely plus for me. Um, and she seemed like someone who wanted to start, you know, was serious about starting a family, and she looked like she was very serious about me. So, I mean, which I was happy to see. And so, you know, we talked about a lot about things, and yeah, so we had a lot of good time. And yeah, so that she's bachelor number 2. Um, and some of the women are missing on this. Some of the bachelorettes are missing. You know, there's like there's only so many photos I can share because I met far more than the people in the photos. But anyway, so she's bachelor number 2. Oh, you know who's missing? I met a bodybuilder. She's like famous in Poland because I asked people in at Georgetown University if they know her, like Polish people from Poland. They know her. Like she's supposed to be very famous. I asked Alexandra, who's a communications director at GradGov Executive Board for 2019 to 2020, like with me. I'm the vice president of GradGov, and she knew her too. Like she doesn't know her personally, but she's a celebrity in Poland, so like everybody knows her. So I met her. She's amazingly pretty. She's a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder, and she's like she does other things, you know, like you know, acting, and I guess she does all kind of stuff, I guess. But she's like a celebrity in Poland. Um, and I met her in the post office. You know, I sent postcards back to my parents because I love my mom and dad, and I sent postcards to my sisters because I love them, and some of my friends. So, you know, if I have their address, home address. So, so I was at the post office to get stamps, and like she was standing, you know, like nearby, like writing something on the envelope, and she was like amazingly pretty. Uh, and so I started talking to her, and so we kind of hit it off. And then she gave me her number. So you know, we tried to meet up, but she's such a celebrity. She's always like filming here, going to talk show there. So we couldn't organize a time to meet for like a date. And I was in Warsaw only for like conference. Right after conference, I took off for Gdansk because I had the hotel reservations there. And that's like a tourist area. So, so I, you know, I asked her, you know, why don't you come down to Gdansk? And she's like, yeah, I love to, but I have all these, you know, obligations here in Warsaw with like, you know, celebrity obligations. I'm like, okay, so you know, so what can you do? So we, you know, just kind of communicate. But yeah, so I was gonna see her in Christmas, and I said, we have to definitely see each other in Christmas, like you know, get together for dinner or something, you know. So I was gonna do that, but you know, unfortunately, I couldn't fly go back during Christmas time because of all the political campaigning. But yeah, so her photo's not here, but yeah, um, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and yeah. So anyway, so oh yeah, she's also from Warsaw. Uh, like right under the letters, you know, like on the www.heerakforcongress.com, you know, the photo right there. You know, she's Polish, but she is currently studying at university in was it in England or Scotland? Yeah, she's. So we spent like some time together um, in the evening. First evening, I saw her and she's kind of cute, you know, and I guess she's like sophomore, you know, like she's like 19 or 20. She's like a sophomore at this university in which university is that? It's at United Kingdom somewhere. And I think she's like from a kind of elite Polish family. But anyway, so I talked to her and then we hung out and there was a jazz festival, so we saw that together and it was kind of fun. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess she's technically like bachelor at number 3 or 4. Yeah, and then and then on the other side, not the two Polish twins with the costume, but on the other side, she is a student. She's like a senior at University of Warsaw. So she's like senior, like 4th year student, I guess like 22 or something. And so she is, yeah. So I guess she's like bachelor at number 5. She's really nice, So the, and also the woman with the guitar. Do you see the woman with the guitar? She and we talked about collaborating because, I am a poet. I share with you my poetry, and she is a singer. So, we're talking about maybe coordinating my poetry and her songs. And so she's like a musical artist. She's like a senior at University of Warsaw, I think. So she's like 22 or something. And so like during summer, she's like kind of performing in the street to just kind of get used to having the audience and stuff like that. So she wants to go like become a professional musician eventually. So yeah, so she's like bachelor number 5, number 6. Anyway, she's one of the bachelorettes. So yeah. Yeah, so I've been for her for a while. I mean, I'm pretty busy with stuff. I had like my final exams last week. You saw my celebration episode, and I'm campaigning and stuff like that. So I'm kind of my schedule that I was planning in August, has a little bit kind of a lot of things got added to my schedule. Yeah, so I was going to see her when I go back during Christmas as well, for like 2 weeks. So, and also, do you see, there's a woman from Spain. She finished her PhD from Universidad Complutense de Madrid in Jewish studies. So she's like rising expert of Jewish studies in Spain. She learned under the leading expert on Jewish studies in Spain. That's her PhD, Dr. Fater, and she lives in Madrid. And she is like, she's wearing like a olive green, like a sweater, and she's wearing like a blue dress. So she actually is at the conference. So I invited her to lunch. So we kind of went out to lunch. And so, so it's kind of like, becoming friends, kind of, she's single, I'm single. So, but she's a good Christian too. So we kind of talked a little bit shop and also like personal stuff. And we talked about coordinating maybe a conference program together, because I'm interested in chairing a session in Jewish studies at European Association of Biblical Studies. So I asked her if she'd be interested, and she said she is. So, we may end up doing that in the future, coordinated. And it's a once a year thing. Basically we invite papers to our session. Scholars send the papers to us, and then we accept it, and then scholars who are interested to come and present their paper and then discuss, something like that. Yeah. So she and I are still planning to do that. She's rising, scholar in Spain, and she'll probably go really far in Spain. So probably like 10 years from now, she'll be like a leading expert in Spain in Jewish studies. She's Catholic, but most people in Europe who do Jewish studies are Catholic or Protestant, But anyway, yeah. So yeah, some other bachelorettes are missing, but anyway, so I take the train down to Gdansk. And like I'm in Gdansk for like 4 or 5 days, and I meet like a whole bunch of new people there, which is great. So I met the two twins in the costume, and then Angelica. She is right next to Olivia. You see the photo of Olivia sitting by herself. She's like sitting across from me. I just wanted to take the photo. She's so pretty. And and she has beautiful blue eyes. So and Angelica is right next to her photo is right next to that, and she's really cute. Angelica, she's a junior or a senior at University of Gdansk. No, I think she's senior because she said she was going to graduate uh, this year. Yeah, so she's like 22 or something, and so she's really nice and she's really friendly. So I hit it off really well with her, and so she's like, I guess like Bachelor at number 8, 9. So and the girl next to that, she's really nice. She it was summertime, obviously. She is like I guess college student, like sophomore or something, second year. But during summer, she's working at this restaurant as a waitress, and she's really cute and she was really nice. And she was helping to explain like Polish food to me when I was ordering. So I kind of um, hit it off, asked her for her phone number, and I was going to visit her on Christmas. Spend some more time with her. But yeah, so yeah, so she's really nice. She was kind of heavily working in summer, um, so we couldn't do too much. But yeah, but um, yeah, but anyway, she's really nice. And then and Sylvia is the one next to the photo of me and Olivia in Warsaw. That's Sylvia. She has like a white sweater on and like a rock T-shirt, and she's from Gdansk, and I think she's like 20, and she loves England, and I have a academic paper that was accepted by Liverpool Hope University for September, Labor Day weekend in 2019. So this was in August, and I actually flew out to England for Labor Day weekend, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, um, and presented my paper on Jewish studies at the Gospel section. I talked to you about that a little bit. Maybe I'll share photos from that. And she was going to actually fly over, and we were going to spend like a day together in London because she loves England. Um, Although she's been there only once. And so she was going to fly from Warsaw to London, and we're going to spend a day together, like, probably like visiting some museums. And then we're going to see like a musical together. And she likes rock music a lot. So maybe we were going to see like We Will Rock You. They have like several rock musicals, like We Will Rock You. They have musical, of the 60s rock music band, so they have like several musicals that's kind of focusing on rock music, personalities, and they also have, the lot of, songs from, that ABBA, like a Greek island love story musical. I forgot the name of the musical. But it's like all ABBA songs, so we could have gone and seen that. So I had some ideas about where we would go to see what kind of musical. And then, I have some nice restaurants in London that I thought she would like. I mean, she's been to like England once, so I lived in Cambridge for a while, so I could have shown her around. I think we'd have had a lot of fun, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to come on the like I was only in London for a couple of days because I had to go to a conference, and I was actually in the middle of the fall semester at Georgetown University for School of Nursing and Health Studies, fall semester. So I couldn't like just spend a lot of days. I mean, I flew in, I blocked out like one day in London for her. And then I went to, and then rest of the day I would be in conference and I had to fly back to, Georgetown because I have all this studying to do. Exams and stuff, lectures. So I could only be there like, it was a Labor Day weekend, so I could like stay, just over the weekend and, maybe miss one day. But she couldn't come that day because she had something important in Poland that, that she had to be there for, unfortunately. So I was going to see her again in Christmas, but unfortunately I couldn't fly back. So Sylvia, hi Sylvia, hi Olivia, hi everyone. You're probably all watching, so it could be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I guess you gotta be honest with everybody at some point. So, I mean, sorry you find out through this show that you're one of the bachelorettes. But don't get offended. I mean, it's not like, we're kind of at the beginning, like 2 weeks, like we're kind of like initial stages, not really, I mean, we're not committed yet. So yeah. So I don't think you'll be offended, right? I don't think anybody will be offended because it's just like initial stage. No, we haven't really made it any like a commitment. So we're just kind of at the dating stage. So, and yeah, but anyway, yeah. So anyway, I miss all of you. I want to see you again. So yeah, but I was gonna go back also during my spring break. I had a ticket to Latvia. I had a free ticket to Latvia with Delta Airlines. I was gonna fly with Delta to United Kingdom. Then from United Kingdom, fly like Ryanair or to Poland. I don't know what or Polish Lat Airlines, and then see my Polish friends, and then go to Latvia, which is close by, But anyway, yeah, I couldn't go because I found out that our Virginia Council of Teachers and Mathematics Conference was going to be that week, and I got the free ticket reserved like in August because I was going to go back during Christmas and during my spring break. And then I found out that my spring break, there's a Virginia Council of Teachers and Mathematics group, and I'm co-chair of the program committee, so I have to be there. So I was telling my clinical nurse leader cohort members, I have to cancel my trip, and they're like, you should just go. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like the co-chair of the program committee. I have to be there. I'm supposed to take care of all the volunteers at the 2020 VCTM, Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics annual conference at Virginia Commonwealth University. We have the whole like 2 buildings reserved at Commonwealth University. And we have like all these math educators from pre-K to university professors coming. And I'm supposed to like kind of work with the volunteers, manage the volunteers. And I felt, so I ended up not going and paying $150 to redeposit my airline ticket. And hotels, they're just lost because I got them cheap in August because I reserved them way in advance on the special rate plan, but it was non-refundable. So my hotels in London, I was going to stay for a day. Maybe Sylvia could have flown out. I was going to ask her. And then Poland and Warsaw, and then hotels in Latvia, they're all lost. But I got them cheap. It was like I reserved them in early and had like prepay, plan. So I got them like 60% off or something like that. So I mean, I did lose money, but what can you do? Yeah, I mean, I feel very strongly about meeting my obligations. So I wasn't gonna, let Tony Sorrell, our chair of the conference committee, fry or my co-chair, Teresa Wills at George Mason University left hanging. I wasn't going to do that. They could count on me. So unfortunately, the CTM conference got canceled, and I also came down with influenza A that week. I don't know how I got it, but and then that developed into acute bacterial bronchitis. I shared with you in my previous show. So yeah, I mean it's. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, so Sylvia, I was gonna meet for a day in London. She loves London, and we're gonna have so much fun, But oh well. What can you do, right? Sylvia, I'll try to make it up to you someday. And then in Gdansk, I like dancing. So, and I feel like it's good exercise. So I went dancing every night in Gdansk in August 2019. So I went to the best clubs in Gdansk. They have like the best dancing they say in Poland is in Gdansk. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. I checked out some dancing places in Warsaw with my bachelorettes, and they were pretty good, But in Gdansk, so I went to like 3 best clubs. Like I was there like 4 days, I guess, like 3 nights and 4 days. So I went and started dancing around 10 p.m. and I danced until like 4 a.m. It's good exercise, it's fun, it's good exercise. And so, yeah, so, and one dance place, they had like, if you've been to Gdansk, you know what I'm talking about. There's like, you go in and there's like 4 stories, 4 stories high. Like, it's like dance floor in the center, and so dance floor is open, but there are 4 stories where you can sit around and watch the dancers from above. So there are 4 stories where you can sit, and it's like a donut. So the dance floor is open, but you could sit around the dance floor from above and watch. And it's a pretty cool place. Music was very good. They played mostly like techno, like German techno music, and there were a lot of like German and Russians, like and Polish people who were at the Russian border there. It was kind of interesting. I was talking to like some Polish soldiers. They're like, yeah, we don't want Russia to occupy us again. Apparently, Russia occupied Poland for a while, so they're pretty sensitive about that. So they kept trying to talk about Poland and Russia. So I'm like, hey, I'm just here to have fun. I know I'm American and you want to share all that stuff with me, but hey, I'm here to just have fun and dance. Go talk to some women. But yeah, I don't know. I guess when they see foreigners, they want to kind of share their history and stuff. I respect that, but I'm like, this is a dance floor. Let's dance. It's not for talking; it's for dancing. So, but anyway, yeah, there were like 4 or 5 guys in the Polish army, and they were like literally 6'7", all of them. They're like, and they're dancing together like these 4 or 5 army guys, and they're in the army. They're at the frontier, Russian frontier, guarding Poland. And I guess they just had like a weekend off or something. So these like 5 Polish military guys, 6'7", type of dancing, like 5 of them together. I'm like, geez, can you move in the other direction? I mean, geez, you're like crowding me out, dudes. So I actually ended up moving to another area. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna dance around like a bunch of guys. But anyway, yeah. So people like me there, people like me generally wherever I go. And I generally dance with like pretty women, so like a lot of guys like start coming and it's like crowding, it gets really crowded. So, but anyway, yeah. So, uh, so yeah, I met Onetta, and she's the you saw her in the photo. She's really pretty, Onetta, and I'm wearing my Hermit Kingdom with the crown shirt, and she's in her black dress, and she's really nice. She was in Gdansk for like a couple weeks, and she's originally like from north of Poland. So I was hoping to see her during Christmas and then again in the spring, but in the future maybe. And then I actually met Danielle from Netherlands. She works in The Hague. She works for the Dutch government. She has a really important job. I can't remember what she does, but she was explaining to me. And like, I only remember the important things on vacation time. I'm like, you know, I mean, this is not like nursing class where I have to remember everything. I'm going to selectively forget. I need to open up my kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte space for important things like, fond memories. I don't want to forget. So I'm selectively going to forget details that are not that important. But I remember she telling me a lot, over dinner, candlelight dinner, like about her job. But anyway, I like to talk about like more fun things, but but anyway, yeah, so she and I, we went for candlelight dinner and some good Polish steak. I like meat. And she's Dutch, she's like taller than me. She's like 6'2" or 3". But I like taller women. So I took her out to dinner in Gdansk. We went out for dinner. I mean, she's Dutch, so she paid for her own dinner. European women are funny that way. And I noticed like some European women don't want you to pay for them. And like they get offended if you try to pay for them. But there are other group of European women who want you to pay for them. So it gets confusing, and I don't discriminate. I date women who only has high school diploma, uh, who work, if they're pretty and they're Christian, I mean, I don't care if I marry a girl who doesn't have a college degree, just a high school diploma. If she loves Jesus, uh, you know, and she's going to be a good wife and a good mother and good lover. Yeah, geez, uh, college degrees is overrated. So I date women without college degrees. I date women who are PhDs, who are professors, different types of people, Um, but anyway, so yeah, so basically, so yeah, Aneta was I think she was 19 or 20, and then yeah, she's really nice and she's really pretty. If you're over 18, you're a woman. I mean, geez, you're marriageable woman. A lot of people get married at 18, and so actually the best women for women to get married is between 18 and 26, because biologically, like men and women start going down the hill after 26. So yeah, 18 to 26 is like good. So if you fall in love, why not get married, right? I have no problem marrying Aneta. I didn't ask her for her age, but I think she's like 18 or 19 or 20. Um, if we fall in love, hey, she could do, classes online. All of us are taking classes online. She got her bachelor's online. So she transfer her Polish college courses to United States. I mean, you could always work things out if you're in love. But anyway, like going back to Daniela, it's spelled like Daniela, but it's like Danielle, I think. Um, I called her Danielle, and she didn't correct me, so I figured that's the correct one. So we're having dinner there. Next to there, we're having breakfast there. And we found a really nice cafe, um, and so croissant was great. And the Polish coffee was good. And then and so that's in Gdansk. And we took a tour of Gdansk because like both of us are tourists. I'm from America. She's from Holland, and she was there just for the weekend. Um, And we took the tour and we met like like an Italian couple. So we had lunch with them. Do you see me and Danielle and two Italian couple like on the photo below our breakfast photo? So we had a lot of fun. Tour was fun, and like we had fun having lunch, and yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And yeah, and I met some other like Polish people. Those are Polish people, like underneath in the bottom photos in Gdansk, which was nice. And hung out with them. And I met much more, but you know, there's no space to put their photos in here. So, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah, let me know which bachelorette you like the best. Email me. Maybe you can help me out. I mean, I was planning to go in December for after Christmas, spending Christmas with my family. I was gonna fly out like Christmas night at like midnight flight. Because I bought my ticket for cheap, like $250, $300. Uh, you know, So that was the only, like, you have to fly out on Christmas Day. So I was, my family celebrates Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. We have worship service together as a family. My dad prepares a sermon for a few weeks, delivers it. And generally, like, after like 2 p.m., we do nothing. We just like relax, watch TV and stuff. So it's like Christmas Eve and Christmas morning are the most important things, and Christmas lunchtime. So yeah, so I could fly out on Christmas Eve without any problem. But so I was gonna have like an awesome New Year's Eve, with bachelorette, a chosen bachelorette. But yeah, so well, that didn't happen. Anywho, yeah. So but in the future, who knows, right? Who knows? Um, we don't know what God has in store. I may fall in love with somebody from Georgetown, and I may ask her out, and she may say yes, and we may end up getting married. Who knows, right? But uh, I'm open to possibilities. I'm single. I'm looking to form a good Christian family, so I'm open to love. And whoever loves me back, when we click, and it'll work out. Everything else will fall in place. College degree is the last thing that you should worry about. You know what I mean? Right, Anetta? Hi, Anetta. Yeah. So most of them are in college right now, either like a sophomore, junior, or senior. Olivia isn't. She's like a manager in a Greek store. Danielle is working in a high power position and in the Hague for the German government. Well, not German, Dutch. No, I think she works for the International Criminal Court or something. So I don't think she works for the Dutch government. I think she works. I guess there's an international criminal court. I don't know. She was explaining this. I know it's some kind of very important job, but yeah, for me it's not that important during the vacation time. So yeah. Oh, and also bachelor number one is a working woman. She's graduated from University of Warsaw like a year ago or 2 years ago. So, but other than that, I think everyone else is like in college. Oh yeah, the Belgium military people, they just graduated from their military academies. But anywho, yeah. So yeah. So thanks for sharing this episode with me. Bachelor in Poland 2019. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a bachelor in Poland 2021. Well, if I become a U.S. congressman, I may not be able to do bachelor in Poland 2021. I may have to seek a different approach. But anywho, I am open to how God leads me. When I went to Poland in 2019 as a bachelor, my circumstances were a little bit different. So I could do the bachelor in Poland because Poland is a perfect place to meet a good Christian woman to marry. So I wasn't gonna throw away my opportunity to meet a good Christian woman. It's like a Catholic country, 99.9% Catholic. And Poland is like a devout Catholic country. I have a friend, Clifford Bates, who went to my church in Rhode Island when I was at Brown University, and Greensfield Presbyterian Church. And he's a professor at the University of Warsaw. I was going to meet up with him, but I ended up doing the bachelor in Poland. Sorry, Cliff. I should have met him. Geez, but I was going to meet him, and then I had all these bachelorette I'm dating, and I didn't even have time to meet up with my friends from my conference. I was spending all my free time, and I have to be honest with you. I kind of played some hooky on some sessions because excuse me, like like excuse me for a second, allergies. Like when I met Olivia for lunch, and she was pretty there, wasn't she? And she was like a Catholic priest brother who's like up and rising. He'll probably become a cardinal someday. So definitely a plus. But anyway, she could only see me during lunchtime, and our sessions are like from like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to generally like 6, 7, 8 p.m. So I ditched all the sessions to meet Olivia. Of course, priorities. I could always go to European Association of Biblical Studies conference every year after year. Like I was going to go to Wuppertal University in Wuppertal in August 2020. You know, it was canceled because of COVID, but yeah. So priority. So I ditched like the whole morning session for Olivia and half the afternoon sessions. But yeah, we were supposed to have a personal tour of the Polish Museum of Jewish History, and I will never miss a tour of Jewish History Museum because, you know, I have gone to every Jewish museum in every city I've been to, and I wasn't going to miss this tour, and it was given by like a famous, you know, expert in Poland, and you know, but you know, Olivia is more important. Marriage is more important, right? I mean, you know, I mean, it's the initial stages of potentially, you know, developing into marriage, but it's like, you know, Bachelor in Poland. So I was going to give it my priority. And so, yeah, it was fun. I really liked my time in Poland. I have many more photos. Maybe I'll share the photos I haven't shared with you this time in the future. But anyway, thanks for being part of my life. You're like my family. Yeah, check back. I have like you know, a lot of exciting and fun photos. And I think you will love like sharing my life. I'm a very fun person. People love me. So wherever I go, people love me. People love me in Poland. People love me wherever I go. So I'm a lovable person. What can I say? But anyway, yeah, thanks for being a part of this episode with me. This is like a celebratory episode with happy graduation, class of 2020, clinical nurse leader at Georgetown University. I love you guys, my fellow clinical nurse leader cohort members. So yeah, but anyway, so we'll see. You know, God may, you know, send me someone else, you know, or altogether different. Who knows? But I'm open to God's calling, and so yeah. But I hope this episode was fun for you. I'm glad that you're participating in my celebration, and now you're kind of participating in my romance life. You know, maybe you could help choose me a wife. Who's your favorite bachelorette? Let me know. And I will continue to keep you updated with COVID-19 so that you and your family can survive COVID. And so check back tomorrow, and we will have another exciting and interesting show for you. This show is holistic. It covers everything and that relates to the human experience. So Georgetown University focuses on cura personalis, right? A human being is not just monolithic. A human being has needs for love, needs to form a family, has academic, professional needs. You know, people have different needs, you know, and you cannot neglect any aspect of your personal life, right? You have to have a balanced life, and so yeah, this is like, you know, I value romance. You know, I'm a heterosexual single male, so I like dating pretty women. Which guy doesn't, right? So anyway, and they're all like good Christian women, so which is like an added bonus. You know, Poland is a great country. I love Poland. I wouldn't mind like moving to Poland. You know, people are so nice there, and people are like really dedicated to their Christian faith. I went to mass like every Sunday, and it was fun. You know, I went to mass in Warsaw. I went to mass in Gdansk, and they had a memorial day service remembering soldiers in Poland. That it's like a big national holiday. So I went to that the mass to commemorate that as well. Yeah, so beautiful people, very dedicated Christians. I really love the Polish people. Anyway, yeah, I could go on and on, but yeah, so I'll continue tomorrow and share with you more about my life. And also, I want to share with you things that you do need to know for COVID-19 so that you can survive and your family can survive and thrive the COVID-19 era. So I hope that you will be well, and that I hope that your family will be well too. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Goodbye.